the next stitch we're going to do is a double crochet. So this first row are all single crochets. Hopefully you've picked that one up, you've practiced that one, you've got it down. So the next stitch we're going to do is a double crochet. So we've got one loop on our hook. What we need to make a double crochet is to start with 2 loops on our hook. So we're going to do what's called a yarn over. It sounds hard, it's not. So we've got 1 loop on our hook. What you're going to do is the hook's in front of your working yarn. We're going to go push into that yarn, go around the back, and then now we have 2 loops on the hook. It's as simple as that. We've got 1 loop on, you've got your hook in front, all you do is twist it around that yarn once. That gets you another loop on your hook. Then we simply go into the same chain, the same stitch like we did last time. We've got our 2 loops on our hook. You can hold that second loop with your finger gently if you need to stop it slipping off. So we've got our 2 loops on our hook. We find our stitch. So again, there's your loop of 1 stitch. There's the loop of another stitch, a loop of your 3rd stitch. Hopefully you can see that. So that's the loop. That's the stitch we want to be going into. So we're going to go into that stitch through both sides of the loop. So you end up with the entire loop on your hook. So we've gone in the top through both sides of the loop. That's your stitch. So I'll do that again as a whole. So holding our yarn, we've got 1 loop on our hook. We go twist around the yarn. We've got 1 more loop on our hook. We go into the stitch that we've just found. Then what we do is very similar to the single crochet. Pull through just the stitch you've gone through. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We've pulled through the one on the piece of work and we have 3 on our hook. Simply do is get our yarn, pull through 2, only 2. Then what we end up with is 2 loops on our hook. So then what we do, grab the working yarn and pull through the 2 loops. So it's very simple. It's basically a single crochet but twice. So we've got 1 loop on our hook. We twist around the yarn. We now have 2 loops on our hook. We find our next stitch. From the top, that's our loop. From the side, this is the loop. This is the hole we need to be going into. I'll try and open it up a little bit so you can see. So the stitch we're already in 1 stitch. The next stitch is where this hole is. So we've gone round our yarn, we've got 2 loops, going into this stitch, making sure both of the sides of that loop are on our hook. Pull through your yarn, just so you've got 3 loops on. Pull your yarn through 2, so you've got 2. Pull your yarn through 2 again. And that's it. It's that simple. You've got 1 loop, twist it round, you've got 2 loops. Find your next hole in your chain, your next stitch. Pull your yarn through. We've got 3 loops. Pull your yarn through the first 2. Then pull your yarn through the second 2. Back to 1 loop. So when you've got 1 loop, we twist it round. We've got 2 loops. You go into the next stitch, making sure you've got both sides of that loop. Pull it through 1. Got 3 loops. Pull it through 2. We've got 2 loops. Pull it through 2. Again, that's your stitch done. So as you can see, the double crochet is a lot taller a stitch than the single crochet, but it's also a lot more of an open stitch because you basically stacked 2 single crochets on top of each other. It has a gap where they're not connected, they're stacked on top of each other. Whereas if this was 2 layers of single crochets, you would have less of a gap between them because they're shorter stitches on top of each other. So that's our double crochet. That's our next stitch learned.